Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again here on Talkin' Fight for another episode of the Friday night panel featuring Mike Orr at 4. And of course, two-time heavyweight champ Tim Witherspoon. Woo!
Whoa!
All right. What are we going to start off with tonight, gentlemen?
How about the fight tomorrow?
Which one?
The Jacobs fight. Jacobs versus Ryder. U.S. two-time middleweight world champion Daniel Jacobs will collide with Britain's world-rated super middleweight contender John Ryder at the famous Alexandria Place in London tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Former WBA and IBF 160-pound King Jacob, who is 37th and 3 with 30 KOs, earned a split decision win over two-time world title challenger Gilbert Rosado last time out in November of 2020. Miracle Man, who hails from Brooklyn, New York, fell short of his WBC, IBF, and WBA middleweight world title unification clash with pound-for-pound star Sal Alvarez in May of 2019, losing out on all three judges' scorecards. But 3 years on that 34-year-old still has a burning desire to mix it up with the best. So he's getting in the ring, man, and it's going off tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have a bunch of people on this card that we should be watching anyway. We got Felix Cash, who's taking on Magomed Mediv. Felix Cash is looking to stay undefeated, move to 15-0, and capture the WBC International Middleweight title. Plus, we have Ellie Scottney, 3-0, looking to take on Georgina. I'm going to say Georgina. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, man.
Just say it real quick. Just say it real quick.
Guani. And yeah, that one's for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Female Super Bantam title. Plus, Hopi Price, another prospect I've been talking about, Johnny Fisher. Both these guys are on this card, along with Austin Williams, both all undefeated, looking to keep that record clean. And honestly, they've been paired up against some real tough journeymen in the game. So each one of these is a test, man. So it's gonna make it for really good boxing. So guys, I know there is only one card going on tomorrow, and this is it. And honestly, it's gonna be a good one, man. So it's gonna be great. Yes, Ray agrees with me. He says look out for Hopi Price and Sirius Pattinson on this card. Top gents, yes, they are. Sirius, Cyrus, whatever you want. I know that in Harry Potter they call him Sirius and they spell it that way, so I'm just gonna say that. We'll just say Pattinson. How about that? Yeah, but no, Pattinson, yes. Watch out for these cats, man. They are really, they're at the top of their game right now. These guys are really killing it. Super exciting to watch, man. And it all takes place tomorrow starting 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah, man, that's the fights to talk about.
Did you say there were women on that card?
Yes, Ellie Scottney.
That's right. We have featured her before.
For the vacant WBA Intercontinental Female Super Bantam title. Yeah, it should be great, man.
Yeah.
When is Amanda fighting? What's her name from Ireland?
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor.
They're set to go. That's April. They're toe April.
Yeah, that's going to be a big. That's going to be a big fight in chunk.
It's going to be massive.
Yeah, it is. Massive. That's going to be a big fight. Yeah, she signed with what's her name? Jake Paul, right?
Yeah. So Jake
Serrano.
I think that was a good move.
It's a solid.
He made her a millionaire. He turned Amanda Serrano into a millionaire.
What you mean? She signed for $1 million or something, or she gonna get that on the fight?
She's earned that money ever since signing with him.
Whoa.
So
okay, that's what boxing needs.
Yes.
Boxing needs. Jake Paul need to come on our side, though. He need to come on our side and fully dedicate himself instead of doing the ones he's doing. You know. Well, you know what I'm saying. Just coming in right on top. And
hey, you know what?
It's
as long as he takes on legitimate boxers and signs them to his promotional company and does them justice. You know what? It should be. You know what? I'll understand that. That's cool. We all know his boxing, what it's about. It's a game. It's a joke. It's whatever it is. It's not real boxing. It's entertainment is what it is. That's what he's doing. But you know what? He's doing real boxers justice by taking somebody like Amanda Serrano, signing her, and taking her who has been in this game a long time, who's achieved tons and tons of, accolades, really, belts, tournaments, everything she's been in boxing, she's done very, very well. And it's now just that she's been signed to MVP Promotions that she's actually become a millionaire, man. And it took her signing with Jake Paul to earn that money. And you know what? Shout out to her. Shout out to him. I think he's doing her wonders, man. And honestly,
that is.
I hope he does. I hope he does more for some other boxers. It'd be nice to see.
I'll add my 2 cents. Christian von Sponak was at the press conference in London on Monday, and Christian, his website's called Boxing 247. It's one of Europe's more well-known boxing websites, and he was at the press conference. And on his website, he posted the video clip that he shot, I think, with his phone, but nonetheless, it's a good video clip of Jake Paul speaking about the fight. And for once, I will give Jake Paul credit for speaking eloquently, intelligently about not just women in boxing and how the sport has been enhanced by giving the women their just due and giving them the dollars that they deserve. But he also spoke highly of female boxers who have come before them, the trailblazers, so to speak. He knew their names. He knew the top names of the top female fighters right now.
There we go.
No, hey, great. We've got another pro online here. And so I was really impressed with what Jake said about female boxers and how it's going to elevate the sport in general.
Real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Introduce our new friend.
No.
Oh.
Okay, this is Greg Towns. Why don't you let him introduce himself? You want Greg? Greg.
No audio.
We'll have to get it fixed.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
You know what? I'm to the point where whoever does it, that's good, because it's good for boxing. You know, the way he came about coming in, and sometimes there's a lot of boxers upset because they worked hard to get to where they was at, and so I felt that. I'm a former boxer, and Jake Paul just moved in because he's rich, he got money and all that. And then I came to the situation where I said, you know what? If he helped boxing, I understand some of those boxers, you know, he didn't work his way up, but business-wise, he got something accomplished. He got something accomplished with the girls. So I think it's just a matter of sitting down and just talking, and you know, because I know some of them would be jealous and stuff because he did it, but they working hard too to do it too. So at least we got to acknowledge each other and talk. That's all, I think.
Absolutely. Do we have audio with Greg yet? No, we'll have to read his lips for a second.
Taking this long. Go ahead. Go ahead. Y'all guys take it.
The other thing that Jake Paul said.
Testing.
Hey, he's coming.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Hey, what's up, Greg Towns?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How's my
Welcome to
audio
our
now?
Your audio is perfect.
All right.
Well, this Greg Towns, he's from Rhode Island. He's good friends with
I know everybody over here.
You do it. I keep
I'm a New England guy. You know, as an amateur, I won all the local, New England titles and all that. I turned pro in 1988. Went undefeated for to about 10 fights. I'm a New England guy, man. I'm from the same city Vinny Paz is from.
Vinny Paz, that's outside.
You could throw a rock from my house to his house. If you had a strong arm, you throw a rock along, you hit the top of his house. I'm also from the same city that Demetrius Andrade, Boo Boo Andrade, is from. As a matter of fact, in 1995, when I fought for the New England super middleweight title, Boo Boo's father, Paul Andrade, was my manager. Me and Paul talk almost every day. I'm friends with, I don't know, who else is around. We got the 2008 U.S. Olympian Jason Estrada, also from Providence. We got a lot of good fighters over here, man. And that's just the top. But none as great as the great Ghetto Greg, though. I run a little. I'm a CEO of Punching Bag Skunk Boxing Media Incorporated, which basically consists of YouTube channel, website, a couple of websites, and I got a gem that I'm putting together. So I got my hands in everything, guys. It's really a pleasure to be on your show. I really appreciate the invite, by the way. Hey, Chip, man, what's good, baby?
Yeah, and you know how we doing it, day by day.
Yeah.
I know if you don't call me, I'll give you a call later, see what's going on. But you know what? I've been missing had a lot of stuff to do. I've been talking, we've been doing stuff on the phone and everything. And I just forgets, man. I forgets. But I'm gonna start reading books. I got my books in the room. I'm gonna start massaging just like you exercise your muscles, you gotta exercise your mind.
Hey,
and I did. I read for like a couple of days, and I did feel a little different. So I'm gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm happy you on.
Hey, Chad, man, it's good to see you. I mean, we don't talk all that often though, but I talk to you. I think we talk about twice a week, I guess, or once a week. I try to stay in touch, but there's a lot of things going on, and you're busy too. You know what I mean? I'm busy. But it's always good to chop it up with you, man.
But you didn't tell everybody with about your whole self. You said a couple of things.
Yeah, well,
they controlling the time now. You gotta let Greg know, what time it is. Because I'm sure some people like the stories I heard. The stories you told me. I think people will be interested in listening.
Okay. How about this one? How about this one?
There you go.
Champ told us that you went to jail. What?
Oh, yeah. Hey, let me tell you.
Let's hear it.
First off, let me tell you that there's a saying around here with my group of friends that my wife can attest to this. She always says, "Do not get him talking boxing; he'll never shut up." So you guys are all nice. So anyway, look, man, I wasn't always a good boy. You know what I mean? I wasn't always a good boy, and as a kid, I like any other mischievous kid, I got caught up in a lot of childish nonsense, stealing cars, pocket, all kinds of stuff. So when I wasn't in jail, I was winning titles. I won my first title in 1979. I won the New England Junior Olympic Championships. I was 14. That year, I got to go to the regionals in Governor's Island, New York. I would have went to the nationals that year. I think they had it in California or Texas. I would have went to the nationals that year, but you got to realize, you got a 14-year-old kid that never been off of Broad Street. so now I'm in the Big Apple. You know what I mean? And then when they got me in the Big Apple, man, I was having so much fun. I wasn't even thinking about fighting. I ended up losing that year. Then I came back to Rhode Island, and when I came back to Rhode Island, I started getting mixed up with the bad kids again, and then falling into a little training school, which is basically jail for boys. Right. And I did a year in there, and when I got out of there, I got out and I ended up winning the Junior Olympics again. Then I went back to jail. So when I wasn't in jail, locked up, I was winning titles a lot. Then what happened was I defended my title. I mean, this kid Marty Foley, who was a great friend of mine to this day, Marty Foley, took my title off me, and that was in 1980. Then I ended up going to jail for a couple of years, big boy jail. But I always look at that as a blessing, guys, because while I was in the joint that's at the big house, you got to realize I was a fresh 18, and the jail wasn't like it is now. Back then, the jail was a jail. You know what I mean? Everybody come out at the same time, wear your own clothes. Got guys with jewelry. I mean, it wasn't like it is now. PC, we call it around here, we call it PC, Punk City. It ain't like that now. You know what I mean? But back then, it was it was wide open. So I was a boy, had to knock out grown men. So back then, they had a ring in maximum security. It was a boxing ring. As a matter of fact, the boxing ring in ACI, Marvin Hagler used to come up there with Chubby Gomes, and when he was coming up with the Petronellis, and they'd come up there and they'd spar the inmates. That was a little bit before me though. But when I got there, they still had the ring, and that's when I really started taking boxing seriously. And hey, what else is there to do when you're locked up? Eat oodles and noodles and train. and make toilets shine. You know what I mean? So, hey, I mean, look, man, I'm skimming over all that, but that was a long experience. That was a 2.5 year stretch that I grew mentally. I grew up. I became a man in there. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you some more stories about the joint. Now I can do. I'll tell you one. I just tell you one.
Let's hear it. I love it.
There was this. We was in the rec one time in the gym where the ring was, and there was this guy. I really don't want to say his name because he's deceased now. And
don't say his name if you.
But he was a real badass in the joint. He was known for smacking people in the head with bricks in the yard. Like so, If you have a beef with him, you really want to make sure you keep him in your peripheral because if he gets up and back, he likes to smack in the head with a brick and lay out. So anyway, this guy's a bad dude, and I was a young boy full of piss and vinegar. So if you said something to me, I'm ready to roll. You got to realize I was already a junior Olympic champ, already a Golden Glove champ. I knew how to fight now. All right. So it don't matter. I'm ready to rock and roll. So he comes over to me and says, "Hey, young buck, I heard you was a boxer." And I said, "Yeah, I was a bum." But he said, "Well, you'll be all right. Just stay out of my way, punk," or something to that effect. And I went ballistic. What? What do you want to do? And I ready to fight him, and he said, "Hey," he said, "I'll hit you in the head with this weight," because there was a weight bench right there. He picked up a barbell. He said, "I'll smack you head with this weight." I said, "Let's do it." So they all broke it up. Now I'm going somewhere with this guy because this is very profound in what made me get reputation in a man's joint. Okay, what happened was everybody broke it up and they said take it in the ring. Okay, so they made the fight for after chow, which means everybody's gonna be in the whole prison. I mean, wow. The COs was there, the captains was there, everybody was there, and I cleaned them up. I cleaned them up with just a jab, pop, 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 just jab. His head was jumping back like that, and when it was all said and done, the next day when we got up for chow. When I walked by him in the chow hall, he was turning his neck like this. And he said, I'm gonna get you, man. And I said, "You know where I live at, buddy? JKL 17. That was my cell. JKL 17. Come through anytime you get ready." So, anyway, my cousin had. I don't want to make this too like gangsterish, but one of my cousins that gave me a shank. I put it in my. So, you had to do them things back then. It wasn't like it is today. So I had to today. He never came by, and from that, all the OGs, they knew that this young boy had balls. He had heart. He'll fight you. They knew. So then all the OGs, they kind of took me on their wing. They try to, sometimes they make me run around and sucker shot someone every now and then, so little stuff like that. They'd send me to punch somebody, just like that. But basically, that's what gave me my reputation in maximum security prison in Rhode Island back then. And wow. Let me just finish this one last cap on this story because it's really a trip about this story because when I got out of the joint in 1986, I won the New England AAUs 2 weeks after I got out. I jumped right in the ring, man. I won the AAUs right after I got out the joint 2 weeks. I didn't end up winning the gloves that year. Then I started blowing up, getting local fame and all that stuff, getting newspaper clippings. And everyone started recognizing me and everything. Started blowing up. I wasn't pro, still amateur. I was on my way to the National Golden Gloves in Knoxville, Tennessee in '87. But when I got back from the Nationals in '87, I ended up turning professional because I was invited to the Olympic trials, which was really just the Olympic eliminators up in Lake Placid in '87. And what happened was I got in a street fight at a weekend and got stabbed in the back, so I couldn't go to the trial. Missed my hop by this much. I could have died that night with a street fight. If you guys look at this here, there's another little battle star for you where I knocked some dude out. I knocked some dude out cold, and he caught me coming out of the club jumped out of bushes and tried to decapitate. So there's a whole bunch of war stories.
But you're a different person.
There's a bunch of war. But look,
you're a different person today. You're a different person today.
Oh, no. I'm going to tell you, man, how I changed my life. Listen, I'm a completely different man now. But one day when I was still drinking, I was in the backyard with a couple of fellas that I know. We was all in the back drinking and everybody passing the drink, and I was drunk, brother. I was drunk. And the dude, Stevie, came up to me and he says, "Hey, Greg," he says, this is years later, mind you. I'm pro, I done went pro and retired and all. I'm semi-retired. The two someone called me saying, they're gonna give me some money. I'll jump back in the ring, but that's the way I was. He goes, "My brother always said that the best fight he ever fought was Greg Towns." You know who that guy was? It was the guy that was got, I want to say his name, but was got the prison thing where it was him. He said his brother's a bad dude. This guy had a reputation. No one didn't mess with him. He was a bad dude. And he said that his brother said he's never fought no one that as good as Greg Towns. I think that was honorable. I really made me feel
preach,
good.
Brother, preach.
Now,
that's right.
We go through years of tribulations and trials. I mean, drinking and drugging. And I used to take people to Atlantic City with me, 5-6 people for the weekend on me. Spend $15,000 just on me. Go ahead, do what you want to do. Like having fun. But then I ended up just falling completely off, man. I became homeless. Everybody left me. I didn't have my family, they didn't want nothing to do with me, which, by the way, my family loves me now, but they didn't want nothing to do with me. I was homeless. I went from a 1989, this was the year 1989. I had a brand new 1989 Cougar, all right? Brand new. And I went from there, and I had a little bit of money. I wasn't rich or nothing, but I had a little bit of money. And I went to panhandling, man, on the corner. Like, wow. Hey, can you give me $1? And people would come by, and they just basically just clown me. You know what I mean? They just clown me. They'd be like, "Hey, look at the chip. Oh, look at the chip, you bum. Yo, you bum." And you bum. And some people come by that had genuine love for me. They come by, and I could see it in their eyes. They really loved me. They said, "Greg, man, here, stuff $100 in my pocket or in my cup." And they'll say, "Greg, man, get your act together. Get your act together, man." And then some people come by and say, "Hey, you clown me." So I went through a lot of emotional turmoil, okay? And then I just met one of my friends that I played Pee Wee football with back in the day, George Lindsay. He was a director at the Davy Lopes Center, this rec center, and he's my man. You know what I mean? So he sat me down one day. He said, "Man, this ain't you, Greg. You're better than this, man. You got to do something about this." And he took me to the Salvation Army, which, by the way, Salvation Army is a program that I love to this day. No one can tell me anything bad about Salvation Army. It's a wonderful program. It got me clean. I went in there in 2007 for the last time, and I've basically been clean ever since. I started my business while I was in Salvation Army. Now I own a business called RGT Mobile Services. We do contracts with Family Dollar. We do contracts with CVS. We got the bus contract with Care New England. I run a successful business now. Me and my wife started my business with nothing. We had no credit, no work history, no nothing. We started piece by piece, and now we run it. We have a successful business that me and my wife run. I tell people that don't use excuses with me because I'm a living example that you don't have no. I don't want to hear that black stuff. Everybody's scared. The whiteies keep me down. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense. Don't give me none of that whitey keep me down nonsense. Don't give me no excuses because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I came from jail. I came from no credit. I came from drug and alcohol abuse. I came from homelessness. Basically, anything that you try to throw excuse at me, I've been through it. So don't give me none of the nonsense. You know what I mean? So I tell people I'm a living example that you can pick yourself up. Oh, and by the way, how did I forget the most important part? I'm a follower of Jesus Christ now. I gave my life to Christ, and I follow the Lord Jesus Christ, and he does wonders in my life. I got a wonderful marriage, married to a wonderful woman, Renee, for 15 years. I don't got my ring on because I'm home, but but you know what I mean, guys? It's a trip that, I mean, look, man, I'll tell you, when people tell these stories about these tough guy stories, I tell these guys, I say, look, I'm not impressed because I've seen real killers. You know what I mean? I've been around these guys. I've been around guys that have put something in you and they go eat a sandwich. So you know what I mean? I see some of these kids out there that they act tough. Let me tell you a little story. I got a lot of ghetto stories. I hope they don't.
That's fine. The ghetto hour is upon us. The ghetto hour is upon us. It's
I don't
okay.
want to mess up the theme of the show, but I was back in the day. Again, I wasn't always a good boy. I used to call myself dealing drugs. Okay, and not on a big scale, but enough scale. Let's put it that way. A pretty substantial amount of money I was making. Anyway, I got busted, and obviously, because that's what happens. I'm glad because you're either gonna get busted or you're gonna get killed. So either one. So I'm actually glad I got busted, but I'm not dead.
Right.
But I was telling this kid years later, I was walking down the street and it was a group of kids on the corner, and they was slinging their little drugs, and they had a couple girls out there had music, and they out there doing their thing. And I walked by, and I heard somebody in the crowd say, "Oh, there goes the Xbox to the bum, the bum. Look at this Xbox to the bum." And I walked over there and said, "Who said that?" And then the kid jumped. He didn't want to fight it. He just said, "Hey, Greg, I said it. You ain't got no money. I got more money than you." And he pulled out. He said, "How much money you got in your pocket?" I pulled out. I think I had like $50 on me. $50. Yeah, look at that, man. You fought on national television. And you got $50. Look at this. He pulled out a knot, and the knot was about $1,600. And I told this kid, "Listen, you idiot." I said, "First of all, you don't have $1,500. You got $700 because you got to re-up, stupid. Okay?" So you got $700 in your pocket, right? Out of $700, I said, "See that girl hanging on your arm right there? I guarantee you she takes 2 of that. Somehow, some way, $200 of that money is going in that girl's pocket. I guarantee it. So you do the math, pump. Now you got $500. I said, "See that car? It's going to take gas, ain't it? Upkeep, ain't it? It looks really beautiful. Hey, you got a $500 car with $2,000 rims on it, which means you're an idiot anyway." But I said, he says, "Look," I said, "now you got $300. Okay, you understand? I was breaking it down in layman's terms for this idiot because these kids are not bright. I'm not a big fan of kids these days. People know that because they're just ignorant and they're disrespectful. But I explained to them that if you got $300 in your pocket, son, you can go work at Burger King and you can make that money without have to worry about getting shot in the head. You know what I mean?
Less hours. If you think about it, it's less hours to make that money at a Burger King because you're gonna stand on that street corner. You're gonna stand on that street corner for 12 to 16 hours.
Right. That's right. Hey, Mike. And dig this, Mike. There's people that get up to catch we call it the opiate guys and women, and they get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So you got some of these drug dealers that are up at 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, Greg. What's that noise?
There's some interference.
Oh yeah, no, he just did. But listen, Greg, you wiping your head like the preachers do.
He's preaching. He's preaching.
Farrakhan, you should Farrakhan me.
Hey, Tim, I didn't know I was gonna come on and give a sermon tonight. But
hey, that's good, man. That's good. Anytime
we love it. We love it.
If you can get anybody on, just talk to them.
Hey, do you tape your shows, Mike?
No, I do my show live every day.
Okay, you're live, so you don't tape because I got a little YouTube channel, small channel. I only got like about 350, 400, 350 subscribers, but it's growing little by little.
Right.
And I like to put clips on and stuff every now and then. So I just figured I'd plug. All right, punch it back, skunk.com, where you get the best.
That's it. Plug it away.
Well, we collaborate now and then. Me and Greg, we collaborate.
That's awesome. Me and Tim, we always collaborate, man. That's my man. And where you guys located at anyway?
We're from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, I fought up there, not in Toronto. I fought in Nova Scotia years ago. I got to go up there to fight. I fought the Canadian champion. Matter of fact, in 1980 when we went, the guy that I fought would have represented the Canadian, would have been a representative of the Canadian Olympic team. But if you remember, Canada boycotted the 80 Olympics, so they didn't go to the Olympics in 80 because we boycotted and they followed the United States. But he would have represented. So I fought a good fighter. He was a good guy. He ended up beating me pillar to post, Tim.
Now I was looking. They got somebody from Canada.
Canada?
From Canada saying talking about the show. That's all.
Hey,
somebody from England. No, somebody from the UK.
Hey, I can't see the chat. Is there a way I can't see the chat?
I don't know. I might be special.
We tell them what.
You know you're special, champ. You know you're special.
Yeah, Durham. Yeah.
Hey, champ.
Yeah.
Can I ask Greg a question?
Yeah.
I got an ice pack on here.
When we started out this channel, when COVID started and all that, and we couldn't meet in the pub anymore to talk about boxing and stuff. We started this thing online, right? And one of the guys who joined us online was the Canadian heavyweight champ, a guy by the name of Burley. And Burley was a fantastic historian and a real student of boxing. And he would tell us stories of a group of old-timer boxers from America who were black, and they were called Murderers Row. And I've told Tim about these guys.
That's from Philly, right?
Well, I think,
was they from? You sure, Tim?
Philly.
I heard that. I thought I heard that in Detroit.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure they were from various cities, but basically shall we say, at that time, white-controlled boxing community wouldn't allow them to fight because they were so good.
Wow,
But it was interesting to hear how many of them had spent time in jail and came out of jail fitter than fit, and really knew how to box. So when I was listening to your story, I thought, geez, what a great movie that would make. I mean,
that was. It's funny because if you guys remember, there was actually a program at Rahway State Prison in New Jersey that they did years ago that they was to bring NBC Sports right into the prison.
James Scott.
I
was his sparring partner. I used to go into prison and spar him. Go ahead.
Matter of fact, you told me. Matter of fact, I think you did tell me that. Tim.
Yeah. I used to, and man, every 5 feet they close the door on you. Bam. You go this way. Bam.
Yeah.
Bam. They check you. I was like,
crazy, man. Crazy.
Then you walk into this big place with all the people in there. Then James Scott. They had the boxing ring there.
And then NBC Sports had all the lights and everything came right in there, man. And then when you're in prison, it's really, why do you think guys get in there and they call it all steroid monkey dog? Like, because they there's nothing to do but train. So James Scott said and I see the interview that James Scott did, and he said that he used to do like 5,000 push-ups a day. I'm like,
yep.
This is crazy.
They did that. They did it.
Think that's crazy, Chip?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Jim,
that's a lot. It sounds like a lot of downtime in the solitary confinement.
Yo, he got down there and was doing it like there was nothing.
You don't have. Listen, let me tell you, man. I did 2 years in segregation. All right, I'm lying. Not 2 years. 18 months. We might as well say 2 years. 18 months. Yeah. What that consists of, solitary is basically you stay in this. You come out of the cell at 9 in the morning. You go back in the cell at 10 in the morning. You don't come back out of the cell for your hour until the next day at 9 o'clock. I did that for 18 months. The reason why I was there is because they said I threw a cop over the chair, but it's a lie. We had a shoving match. He fell over the first landing and hurt his leg because he wanted to get some time out of work, whatever. And they decided to state charge me, which is another 5 years. State charge for assault on a CO. And then but another cop there they didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. They got somebody that sent a link to Murders Row. Do your guys got that?
Tim, I actually sent that back to you a couple of months ago on WhatsApp.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Greg. That says that is a link to the Murders Row story. You sent that?
Yo, Charlie Burley, Lloyd Marshall,
I heard that name before.
Holman Williams.
Where was they
Herbert
from?
Coca Kid, Lewis.
Where was they from?
These guys were they were just a group of guys in the 1940s who literally were just they put on their own tournaments because nobody would fight them, and they ended up each of these fighters ended up fighting each other of a total of 62 times.
Wow!
I want to check that out.
Yeah. And the expression "murderers row" had been used previously to describe the batting lineup of the New York Yankees baseball teams in the late 20s until this happened in the 40s, and then they started calling these guys the "murderers row boxers," and they ended up fighting Jack Chase was on there, Eddie Booker, Aaron Wade, Burt Littell. And the other few names that I had mentioned, and these guys ended up fighting each other a total of 62 times because they were feared. They were the most exclusive men's club in the ring ever known. They were so good and so feared that they had to have their own tournament to fight.
Green.
Hey, what's up, champ?
Hey, Cedric.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh no! You can't.
Not you again.
No.
Boobay! Can you bring my Greg over there, please?
No, you okay, Greg?
Champ,
Greg? Yeah, go ahead.
Champ, did you ever hear of Charlie Burley?
Yeah, I heard the old timers talking about him.
Yeah, he was considered the greatest fighter in the murderers row.
What weight was he? Middleweight or light heavyweight or something, right?
He was middleweight and welterweight.
Okay, because I heard about him. Yeah, I heard the old timers talking about him in the gym.
His record was 98 fights, 83 wins, 50 wins by knockout, 12 losses, 2 draws, and 1 no contest.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good record there.
That's a great record.
Pretty tough. Now, I did something on the YouTube with and I did analyze some of the old boxers, Rocky Marciano and Jersey Joe Walcott. And Joe Louis. It was Joe Louis, and then I did a couple of other ones, and I made a statement real quick. I made a statement that those guys were in better shape. They could fight like 100 rounds. But then, to me, they didn't have the skills. You look at it, they're doing like this.
Yeah.
But they were strong as hell.
Yeah.
And could take a punch. And they could punch. So, but I'm thinking that I think Ali would whip their behind, or we could whip their behind because of the skills. Because I knocked out guys that were strong but didn't have the skills. So I've been, for like the last couple of months, I was like, you know what? I've been going back and forth. I think I would have knocked Joe Louis out, or one of those guys all the way back in the day. But you had to be in shape because those guys went 100 rounds before, right?
Yeah, man.
How many rounds?
Yeah.
24 rounds or something?
Hey, somebody hit me up.
They was in shape.
Yeah, they were in shape.
Hey, Jim, one thing you got to keep in mind, too, is that Joe Louis was only like, at his peak, was like 210 pounds, right?
Okay.
He was like a cruiserweight almost.
He was solid. Solid.
But, I mean, at your peak, you and guys like, your era, you guys are a lot bigger than them guys. Like Rocky Marciano was only, they said, like 198 when he won the title. That's a cool.
They were strong. Those dudes were really strong, and they trained hard too.
Chopping that wood and stuff, one time.
I've been doing the hammer. Hey, that's right. I've been doing the hammer all week at my son's gym. I've been doing the hammer.
Yeah.
I had pains in my shoulders, and when I started doing the hammers, the right side went away, but the left still healed. That's why I got this ice on it. I got the ice.
I was going to ask you, what's up, champ? Oh, you got that box?
He's hiding his pack of cigarettes.
Hey, Mike.
It's
Mike.
Speaking of ice bag,
Mike.
It's an ice bag. So that came from, I don't know where it came from. When I hit the heavy bag, it hurts. Whoa. And then I leave the heavy bag alone, it doesn't. So I guess it's because of this. But real quick, it happened when I was doing the roller. I was doing a roller one day, and I went like about 45 minutes at the high speed. That's when my shoulders went out. And it ain't been right ever since. So I think I got to eat properly and do the right things for my shoulders to come back. So the right one came back when I started hitting the hammer. It did something. My right shoulder was hurting. Then when I started hitting the hammer, the pain and everything went away. But the left is still there. I gotta find out what's wrong with that so I can get back to 100, just in case the exhibition happened.
Hey, Chip, is that your rotator cuff thing?
They were saying that the older you get pieces that go in between the thing down there. And I was trying to experiment or whatever, touch it. I really didn't feel no pain. I did feel pain for the muscles, but I don't think it was like a crack, like a little piece chip fell in between the crack. That's what they say when you get older. You get little pieces falling and they got to clean it out. This is what I heard. So and I said, man, I don't want to get cut or them going in and get no piece out. But I think if I rest the shoulder up, I'll be all right.
Tim, we have a question coming in from one of the viewers. Women's Boxing Channel wanted me to ask you, what do you think about women having their own say on 3-minute rounds?
Having their own say. I think that the rules is there. I think that women could go 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds. They want to cut it short. I think that this is a quick one that you threw on me. But in terms of what? I mean, they should be able to go 3 rounds. I don't think that they should cut it. Everybody should go three rounds. They train hard. You got a lot of women that's doing really, really good stuff, exercise and stuff. I'm sure that they could do the same thing.
Do you think it would make for more exciting championship fights if the matches were 3-minute rounds?
I think so. I think when you talk about it, real quick, when you talk about it, it's in your mind. And if they talking about can they last 3 or get hurt within 3 rounds or whatever, I think they can do the same thing we can do. It's only you in shape, you're in shape.
Right.
That's my opinion.
I think you're right, Jeff. I agree with that. Hey, you guys ever hear of a lady named Christy Martin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Christy Martin.
They know everybody, Greg. They know everybody. Don't let them fool you.
I want to make sure. Because, I trained with Christy Martin back when, in 1990, female boxing wasn't really heard of. But female boxing was like a kind of underground. Like, nobody really did any female boxing. And back in 1990, I remember I told you, Tim, I was down there training with Mitch Green and Daytona.
Yeah.
All right. When I was down there, well, Mitch Green came later, but me and Christy
they did an interview the other day with him.
Oh, you did do that to it?
Yeah, the interview went through, but I had to talk to him. I told him I love him and all that, and so he allowed the guy to come in and interview him. That was on Wednesday.
How's he doing, champ?
I talk to him all the time. He's doing good. We just got to get him out there so he can make some money. He did that thing with Tyson. I didn't mean to cut you off, but he did that thing with Tyson. I think there's somewhere where we could place him where he could take care of himself and make some money and let people know that he's okay.
Why don't we do what we said? Remember, we tried.
I can't get him to come on, but he's kind of paranoid about people. No, he's paranoid about his phone, Greg. Like he thinks he talked to me because he trusts me. We was in Don King's camp. I love him, but when he tried it, when I gave him Brian's number, it shut him down. He didn't want to talk.
You told me that. You said
I gave him Brian's number. Brian is the marketing director guy that came on before, and he's doing my YouTube channel. But when I should have called Mitch first instead of let Brian call them. That caused Mitch to shut down. But then when these people came to do they're doing a documentary on Don King and other things. He was okay. I talked to him and said, Mitch, these are good people. Don't worry about it. They're not tapping your phone. And he did it. He just did it the other day. Yeah. And I said, we got a victory week. At least we got him do that. Great. We got to get him out here.
I wanted, man. We was planning on going up there. Remember, 1 week we were supposed to go up there, me, you, and sit with him for lunch or something.
Brian.
Me and Brian, we were supposed to go up there, but he
don't trust Brian. He don't trust Brian.
I'm gonna give him a call. I'm gonna give him a call next week.
Okay.
I got him.
We've been working on trying to get Mitch Green back. I told y'all before. Greg came on the show. Remember, he was trying to do that, and we getting closer and closer. Yeah. We getting closer and closer. He just don't trust people for some reason. He trusts me. Yeah. He trusts me, but then he may not trust the people that maybe I'm trying to hook him up with. So, but he went through with it. They went in there and did an interview. And I called him. He said everything went well, and I was like, phew, now we got to go to the next step. We got to go to the next step.
Yeah,
maybe get him on here. Maybe get him on here if we can.
Mitch is a good guy, man. Hey, when I was in Daytona, me and him was like this. Me and Mitch, that was my boy. I told you a story about when me and then the rap, Busta Rhymes and EPMD. I told you that story, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You didn't tell us the story.
Well, when I was in Daytona Beach, training down, that's when Christy Martin. There was the guy that sponsored everything. He owned the car to Daytona 500. He got a lot of money, so my manager contacted his man. They sent me down there because I was up there doing me and me, street guy, Ghetto Greg. They said get out here, send me to Daytona to get in shape. Okay, I get down there in the training camp. I got full way in the training camp. The guy comes to me, he says, someone's going to come down to camp, do you mind? I said, I don't care, it's your camp. It was Mitch Green. That's how I met Mitch Green. Me and Mitch Green became really tight because he's right down my alley, man. I'm Ghetto Greg. He was ghetto. He's right down my alley. So me and Mitch Green, we was boys. We're going back to 90, a long time ago, but we was real close. So Christy and her ex-husband, Jim Martin, they came there. So we was all this big happy family, man. Like I trained with me, Jim, and Christy, go to Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale, we go sparring everywhere. And then I remember they said, this is what I was going to say before, I just forgot, I got sidetracked, too many punches in the head. Christy Martin said, her and Jim said they're going to see Don King. And listen, at the time, there was no such thing as female fighting in 1990. If you remember, there was no such thing as that. Nobody believed in female fighting.
I remember that.
No, people thought it was a joke. It was like midget wrestling, for crying out loud. Nobody wanted to do that. So but they had belief. Christy and Jim, they believed. They knew it was going to work. And me and Christy Martin did a show with Pinklin Thomas in Daytona one day on the radio show. We did a talk show, me, Christy, and Pinklin Thomas. Anyway, Christy and them ended up going, and they ended up signing with Don King.
Pinklin Thomas. Real quick, Pinklin Thomas is a boxer that won the title for me. Go ahead, Greg.
Yep.
Go ahead, finish.
So anyway, Christy then left, and they ended up, signing with Don King. I think she broke a record, the first female fighter, fight for $1 million, signing her. Yeah, she broke all kind of records. She's Hall of Fame now. God bless her. Hey, I like to think I got a little bit to do with that left hook that she throws. We was in the gym working a lot of times. I said, lift that hook. Lift that hook over, Chrissy. But I'm just saying. But anyway, the story about Mitch Green was that me and Mitch Green was really close. We became boys. Like, we hang every day. And, we tear Daytona up. Just tear Daytona Beach up. And one time they said, if you remember back then, they always had something special going on Beachside. They call it Beachside. Either one week it'll be MTV there, next week it'll be someone else there. There was always something popping out on Beachside. This particular week they had a rap show with EPMD, Busta Rhymes, and the leaders of the new school, all these rap dudes. And we went to the show and we was like in the back, and me and Busta Rhymes was kicking it like I'm kicking it with you guys. Like cool dude, back before all the dreads and all that. And he said, yo, we have an after-hour party. You want to go? And I was like, yeah, bet. You're going to have all the chicks over there every day? Yeah, bet. Let's do it. So what happened was Eric Sermon. This is why I don't like Eric Sermon to this day. And I don't care if you're watching it. If Eric Sermon, you see it, I don't care. Don't say that. Bring it anyway. Because he left me in a bad space, Tim. Eric Sermon. Because he acted like a prima donna, acting like Michael Jackson or somebody. Didn't want this to go. He didn't want Mitch to go. You hear that, Mike? He didn't want Mitch to go, Tim, right?
Wow.
So he was hating. But Eric Sermon was hating on, because they didn't care about me, but for some reason they didn't dig Mitch. All right, maybe because he's big, I don't know. But they didn't dig him. So Eric Sermon was trying to hate on Mitch Green. He didn't want him to go. So I was like, I said, man, bump you. I cussed him out, whatever, and I rolled with my boy Mitch. But yeah, we had some.
Whoa, that was good.
Yes, I wasn't. I'm loyal, man. I always been there. I'm a loyal dude. That's just how I'm built. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But to this day, I don't like Eric Sermon behind that. And I don't know him. I ain't like I see him, but
who is he?
He's a rapper. This rap dude. He's from for this group called EPMD. He has some hot music.
Yeah, man. Eric Sermon back in the day, man.
Yeah. I don't like him. I can't even hide it. I don't like him. I'm sorry. It ain't too many. You know, he just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Just say you like him in public, but when you're home, but when you're at home, it's good for you to say that everything's cool in public. But when you're home, talk about him like a dog, okay? Yeah, in public, don't say.
I ain't seen Eric Sermon in 100 years. He don't even know me, so it ain't. This is me saying that, so he probably don't care either way. But I'm a pro fighter. He's a rapper, so he ain't gonna do none of this. You know what I mean? He's a rapper.
It's funny.
He's a man, though.
Just to bring this full circle, just before you came on, Greg, we were talking about women in boxing, and we were talking about some of the really good words, quite frankly, that were coming out of Jake Paul's mouth for once. And he was talking about women in boxing. He was talking about trailblazers in women's boxing, and one of the key people he pointed out to us all and the world was Christy Martin. Yeah, it's interesting. Christy Martin is now a promoter, and she had an event this past weekend that we were reporting on. It was held down in Florida. I can't remember. I think it might have been Fort Lauderdale. But she's doing really, really well now with her promoting career. And, hats off to women's in boxing, because I think they've come a long way and they deserve the money they're now making. And I'm really happy that, I'm looking forward to this Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fight, not to mention the slew of other fights we've got lined up this year. I think women in boxing is really going to bring some excitement back. And let's hope that the heavyweights get unclogged. I mean, I think Tyson Fury I think he'll beat Dillian White. I think Usyk's going to beat AJ. I think we're going to see Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk go toe to toe this year. I think that'll sort out the heavyweights. I think we'll see. Yeah. Anyway,
real quick. Don't keep it in mind. Keep what is your thought. And I'm gonna say it real quick. The thing that I think that would change a lot of things. These guys need help with their skills. That's all I got to say. Everybody's going to see the same fight. You're going to see the same fight, nothing different, maybe a little bit, until they get somebody that's going to really help them. You're going to see the same sloppy stuff. The
skill level seems that the skill level dropped, and I ran about this on my channel all the time. Like new school, old school.
Gotta give it change. It's gotta be a change.
It's like they taking shortcuts, man. It's like you know what I mean. It's like these days. But hey, look, the heavyweight. Listen, the heavyweight crown to me is the most coveted trophy in sports. Period. Yes. Bigger than the Lombardi Trophy, bigger than the Stanley Cup, bigger than the. I mean, this is my personal opinion, by the way, because some people that hockey fans say, "Get out of here! What are you talking about?" But
I'm from Toronto. We don't care about the cup because we're never going to win it anyway.
I was in England with Dillian White. This dude got plenty of heart. He's solid. All he needs is to tighten his defense up. I was with him. I was with him.
Why don't you go train him? Why don't you go?
No, listen. I'm available.
Why don't you go work with him?
I'm available. No, I'm available. These guys, they got their own people. They love them, and that's it. They're going down with the ship. But in my day, they would do that. No, they go down with the ship. But in my day, the promoter or manager would say, "Hey, Ray, we got to straighten this mess out." But see, they passed away, and the knowledge and everything and the know-how is not with these managers and promoters of the day. Don King did it. If you didn't do the right job, he got rid of you. And Mark Stewart, if you didn't, Dennis Rappaport, Jerry Cooney's manager, I was with him. If your job wasn't right, he either put you there and got somebody and put somebody with you, but he got that thing changed. And this is what they're not doing today. It might be about that 10% we talked about that the trainers can get, or I don't know, but they don't have the knowledge. They need to be in the gym hitting the bags and see what the boxers go through to make these decisions, man. It's crazy. The same stuff going to happen. You're going to see the same sloppy stuff. And you ain't going to see no change. You're going to see no defense. You're going to see none of this. Bang. You ain't going to be seeing none of that. You're going to be seeing this. Oh wow. So, that's it.
They call it fencing. They call it fencing.
And all it takes, you can teach a boxer whatever you teach him. If he don't execute, that's going to be a problem. The boxer has to be able to execute. I don't care how good the trainer is, if they know how to throw that overhand right or this and that. If he don't go out there and do it, nobody wins. But you got to instill that in him. Right. Run with him sometimes. Chop wood with him. That's what I was doing with Cash Ali and all the boxers. Yeah. I was younger. I was running with him. Like when I was turned trainer, I was running with him. I was hitting the wood with him. I was hitting the heavy bag with him. And when it came time to do the pads, I did that. But I was doing the same thing, and that gave them that wow. Even my trainer.
What's your thoughts on Deontay Wilder? I'm just kidding.
He needs help. He needs help. They had him thinking. Everybody had him thinking that the right hand is going to be his god, and it is in a way. But as he get along with harder fights, he's going to see he's going to need more than that. He's going to need that left jab. He's going to need that left jab to be just as good as that right in order for him to keep on winning. And the defense is going to be just as good.
You don't have no defense at all. You don't have no defense. You got that chicken wing flying all over the place, and he has no defense. And when you back, listen, here's my opinion on Deontay Wilder.
The management promoters, they got to get better with this.
He's not a heavyweight.
Yes, he is.
He's a cruiserweight.
I think
he's
how? He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot.
Yeah. Have you seen his legs?
No, he's a heavyweight.
I've seen his legs.
Have you seen his legs, champ?
Yeah, man. They look like a two-piece.
He's a cruiserweight. They need to get him down to cruiserweight because he's not a real heavyweight. His last guy bulked him up. Hear me out, Tim. Hear me out. This last guy bulked him up. He bulked him up. He's all they bulked him to like 225, which is respectable. But look how fast he ran out of gas in the last fight.
He might have been lifting weights.
After the first round, for all intent and purposes, he was out of gas.
But listen, he might have been lifting weights like they said he was. He might have been doing things to slow him down. His frame is a heavyweight frame. He's 6'8". He's a heavyweight.
He's
a heavyweight.
But he's really listen, before he fought the first Tyson fight, he was like 198. They can't get him down to 85 if he's 198. Roberto Duran used to come down from 175 to make the welterweight division. Everyone knows that. That's common knowledge. That Roberto Duran used to walk around at 175, get down to 147 for the fight. Now you're telling me that Deontay Wilder can't walk around at 200 and get down to 185? That's 15 pounds.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
Regardless of his weight, I think that he suffered a brain injury in his last fight to Tyson Fury. And I think very recently he said the reason he got into boxing because he was broke, quite frankly. He needed medical bills to be paid for his child who had, I believe, spina bifida, very serious injury.
Yeah, and that's what happened, Greg.
And that's why he got into boxing, to make money. But now, quite frankly, he doesn't need the money. So realistically, he doesn't need to box. And I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I actually did like him. But I don't think if his brain takes one more shot.
I was thinking too he should retire. I was. I didn't care about the money. Go ahead. I think he should retire. He's all right. He don't have to prove nothing. He don't have the skills. If he get in the ring again, he's gonna have to need somebody. He's gonna need somebody that's gonna teach him how to protect himself so he don't get hit. No, I was thinking about that when you was just what you said. My mom was even saying that. Man, he need to retire.
If you think about it, wouldn't it be too hard this late in the game for him to change up his entire arsenal of weapons that he uses? Because once you get punched in the face, like for example, the last fight, right? He tried using that jab. First of all, he looked really horrible throwing the jab. It was sad.
They didn't show him how to do it right.
Right? And then the minute he takes a shot in the face, he resorted back to that fight or flight syndrome, and he went right back to his old ways. Cocking that right, holding it up, just waiting, following it around the ring.
Who was in this corner? He knocked the guy out that was in his corner.
Exactly.
He can need somebody to give him confidence.
Yeah.
I show him defense first, right? Tighten his defense like that. And the jab got to be just as good as that right hand.
And he's horrible at throwing that jab. That jab is disgusting.
He pushes that jab. He pushes it. And he drops it. Listen, everyone knows, even when you start off, when I start training kids off from day one, I always make sure you bring the jab back here. You're not
always
dropping your jab.
So what does that mean? They ain't teaching him. You said he's dropping it.
Right,
but nobody telling him to leave it, come straight back like this.
Right. But
so he ain't getting the right teaching.
So Mike, I kind of feel what Mike's saying a little bit, Chip, because I'm saying when you got a guy that's 30 something, and
he's still gonna do it
for all this time. Can a zebra change his spots at this late stage?
Let me tell you from experience. My trainer Slim Robinson that taught me everything I know.
Yeah.
They brought him in and changed Eddie Mustafa around. He changed. Who else he changed around? He had Mike Rossman, the Juice bomber. They would bring him in. They would bring him in to shape him up, and it worked. That's why I know about that stuff. I know about that. I was sparring partners. Wait a minute. Everybody they sent him to, he dragged me with him, and I sparred with him. Kenny Norton, Eddie Mustafa. Who else? There was a couple other heavyweights. They sent Slim in there, and I was a sparring partner. That's why I know this exists. Yeah. This exists. A smart trainer.
Tim, do you think he should have fired Mark Breland then? Because Mark Breland was a great. Because some people consider Mark Breland the greatest fighter ever.
I think that he should.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm asking questions.
No, it's okay. But listen. I think they should kick Mark Breland on the side because there is some kind of relationship there. So you got to keep the team. You got to keep the. Huh?
Did you say kick him to the side?
No, you got to keep Mark Breland there because Mark was part of the team. You got to bring somebody else in and let them work as a team, but let that guy teach Deontay Wilder what he needed to be taught. I think he should have kept Breland on the team.
I think so too.
Yeah, he should have kept him on.
I think so too.
It was a little embarrassing in a way. I used to train with Mark Breland, and he fight just like Deontay Wilder. Right hand, jab, right hand, good body shots, and he couldn't block no punches.
Couldn't block no punches. That's how he ended up losing to Marlon Starlin.
I was in Don King's camp with Mark Breland. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, every time I see Mark, we boys, man. Matter of fact, when we was up there, what was that?
You can't communicate that really 100%.
Yeah.
You can. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no. I was saying Mark's good people because when we was up in New York last year, I got.
You was interviewing him.
Yeah, and I interviewed him. Remember, we was up there. He's a good dude. Mark, classy guy. I think more people was mad at Deontay Wilder because people love Mark Breland. He's like people love that dude. So when he made all the accusations against Breland, the boxing community was kind of on Deontay Wilder really bad because people really like Mark Breland. He's well beloved, you know what I mean? Because he's a classy dude. So, you can't go beating up on classy dude. Now, if someone beats up on me, no one's going to care. You know what I mean?
And, they building the fights up. I'm saying like maybe 70-80% of those boxers that those guys been fighting, the commission wouldn't let me fight him. They wouldn't let Tyson fight him. They wouldn't let certain up contenders box them. You got to look at that. I'm not taking nothing from Deontay Wilder or any of those other guys, but what gave me a lot of confidence. I seen on this paper where they turned down 4 guys for me to fight, but they let Tyson fight him. And I was like, they gave me confidence. I was like, so it is a business thing. So like, a lot of those guys that Deontay Wilder knocked out, they wouldn't let me fight him. But it did build him up. It built him up. He got his work. He's the champ. But they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let Ray Mercer or some of those guys like that. But they let Deontay Wilder fight him. And during this day and time, but during our time, those opponents that they fought, they wouldn't let me fight him. I'm telling you. They did that before. They did. Yeah.
Well, they would have said that they wasn't like worthy for that kind of competition.
They did it before with me. They did it before with me. I said, well, wait a minute. He fought so-and-so. Why I can't fight him?
Right.
Money walks, and I think money talks, or whatever promoter's in that right situation, he can get that done, But they wouldn't let me do it. But they let Mike fight 4 guys. I never talked to him. I ain't talked to Mike about it. But when I found that out, I felt like, whoa, okay. They were disrespectful. Yeah, I was saying that. I was saying, okay, they let him fight it, but they won't let me. And do some research, guys, and see if that's true. But that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I'm good at that research thing.
Now with Deontay Wilder, you see all the guys he fought. They look like easy wins for me. Greg, you probably knock him out too.
Well, that's why he lost. That's why he didn't have to have so much skill, man. It's because they were putting in front of him.
I don't want to take nothing from him. I want to give him the just due. I don't want to talk bad about him.
I think you know what? I think he just got too comfortable. I think he just got too comfortable knocking out these bums with that one hand that it just became his whole game. And
never learned nothing. He don't even follow up with the left hook. He don't even follow up with the left hook. It's the right hand.
Exactly. It's the right hand, and then it's right back. That's all it is.
And you know what? I have this tendency to just want to have controversy. Like it's like if you look at that, if you have, I gotta ask the question. I just gotta do it. I can't help it.
Yeah.
There was a great racial element to this whole thing. Let's just air it out, right? Let's just air it out. I have the people on the boxing group. Look.
Yo no comprendo.
First off, I'm a guy that's colorblind. I've always believed that boxing is the most colorblind of sports. If you're good, you're good. No one cares. If you're good, no one cares about that junk. Unfortunately, the new school, they don't think like old guys, like old cats, old timers and old cats. And it was a racial element to this that was kind of ugly, guys. What do you think about? I mean, look, people was rooting for. Remember when Obama? I did a show when remember when Obama ran for president?
Yeah.
And they were saying that people was voting for Obama just because he was black. Some people was going for Obama. They don't know nothing about politics, foreign affairs, and none of that junk. But because he's black and I'm black, I'm voting for him. I think that kind of sneaky stuff snuck into the game that I love with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury because I started feeling that undercurrent of that kind of nonsense. I don't like that in boxing. I think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Whoa. Let me understand that one.
I'm saying that there was people when Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, when the fight originally up, there was a racial element undertone to that whole situation. Slightly. It was, Tim. You got. I know.
Listen, I spent time with Tyson Fury in England. Me and Shania. We stayed up there with. Wait. Let me finish. We stayed up there with the Gypsies. They love each other. They hugged me. We were talking around. They was drinking. Tyson Fury and them wasn't. But that's not the only time I spent time with Gypsies. I spent a lot of times with them, and they are in the same situation some blacks are. Yeah. Like they get treated a certain way. That's the experience.
I'm talking about the fans.
They don't get
the fans. I'm just saying that. I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm saying the fans. There's some casual boxing fans that they don't know about boxing or boxing history, and they just go on surface things. They don't know nothing about nothing.
I understand that now. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I just go with him because he looks cool. Or I just hang at the mall and I like boxing. You know what I mean?
Okay, I took it to another level then. I took it to another level, right?
You see these fans that are like, hey, I like boxing, that's awesome. But they don't know nothing. They're they're just like, come on, man.
As long as they pay the ticket.
There you go.
That's called the Jake Paul syndrome.
Yeah, I got mixed up with that
Jake
question.
Paul. I like Jake Paul. Jake Paul's my man. I like him.
I just want to see the guys that's having a lot of progress succeed instead of a rich kid coming up and getting a lot of things done when there's a lot of guys' hearts. They've been fighting for years, and this just because this young buck got a lot of money, he just gonna come in and be the head of something. And he's got a lot of boxing people that's working hard to get boxing right, and then he gonna just because he got money, he got blonde hair, nice looking guy, and he did that at their event. I do believe that we should let those guys that's working hard and serious about boxing instead of Hollywood coming by. But if he can go ahead and do something, bring some of the guys that was fighting in with him, bring some of the guys that was fighting with him, and that would make me feel a lot better. Instead of, I don't know, maybe he do have guys that's in the boxing that's with him, but if he did, that would make it much better for me, and I know a lot of other former boxers.
I believe he's going to start signing some real boxers to MVP promotions. I think it's going to happen. It's just right now it's a small company, and they're trying not to take on more than they need to.
Okay.
That with Amanda Serrano, we're talking one of the number one female pound for pound fighters in the world, right? He's now got her on the roster, so he's going to make sure that he's going to do her good before he starts signing any of these other boxers that I believe he's going to sign, and I believe he's going to do it.
Paul? Are you guys talking about Jake Paul? Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm talking about Jake Paul. I believe his promotional company will solidify itself and where it's supposed to be in boxing eventually. I just know that it's in its infancy. It's just started. He signed Amanda Serrano to the company, and he's already made her a millionaire after all the work that she's put into the sport. And honestly, I think it's just a matter of time before we start seeing MVP becoming a big promotional company in boxing. It's just they're just starting out, like any small company, right? It's just going to take time. It's
me and Greg will come out of retirement. Me and Greg.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Jeff, you know what I'm saying? Me and you.
I'm sure both you gentlemen can knock out some of today's competition.
I'm not coming.
Hey, Mike.
I'm not doing it.
Hey, Mike. You should see. I got this thing when I watch Rocky movies.
Yeah.
I get souped up and I think I can make a comeback. And I go, hey, baby, I'm going to get him. And Tim knows my wife. Tim knows Renee. And I say, Renee, baby, I can do it again. And I get up and put my gear on, and I get out there, and I'll start running. And you know what she does? All she does is take 2 Tylenols and put them on the table for me when I get back. Because she knows when you're done running, it's a wrap.
On that note, on that note, we do have to wrap up the show, gents. We're running out of time here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Greg. I hope you'll come back.
I'd love
to. Fantastic guest. Thanks very much for inviting him, Tim. Greg,
that's my man. This is what we need. We need this type of stuff, collaborations to make boxing a better thing. So all those stories he told was beautiful. I didn't hear none of them. That was brand new stuff. And this is what we need.
I didn't want to. I hope I didn't know. I talk, so I hope I didn't.
No, we love it.
Hey, man.
Trust me. Sometimes it's hard getting guests to even open up.
It's the channel's called Talk and Fight, so we're glad you're talking. And frankly, to that comment, upcoming we've got Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. That's going to be another really good women's fight as well. But I had an argument the other day with my friend over in England. He's picking Savannah Marshall. I picked Clarissa Shields to win. So that unto itself is going to be a huge draw. Like it's almost like America versus England kind of stuff. It's going to be great.
Savannah Marshall has given Shields the only defeat of her career, right? In her amateurs. So this is big. And you know what? In women's boxing channel, you know what? In their opinion, it would be an astonishing win for Marshall to beat Shields because you know what? Look at Shields, man, undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, only back-to-back Olympic gold medalist, male or female, ever. She's gonna go down as not just the greatest woman of all time. She's setting up right now to go down as the greatest of all time with her achievements.
That's right. I hear you, man. Hey, my favorite is still Holly Holm, though.
I love Holly Holm, man.
I love Holly Holm.
She can bang it out.
Wait, isn't she MMA?
She's MMA. Holly Holm, yeah. That's my favorite female fighter, Holly Holm. I shouldn't say it because Christy Martin,
was it hard for her to transfer over?
I don't think she transferred over because she fought what's that other lady that was chicken boning everybody? Ronda Rousey. She beat Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that was a way back. I remember that. That was a great fight.
Yeah, Holly Holm is awesome. Hey guys,
I appreciate
everything. It's been a blast. Hey, can I give my channel a shout out?
Definitely, please do.
All right, everybody. I wanted to say first of all, thank you to Graham and Mike and my man Tim for inviting me on the show. I really enjoyed it. If you guys like people that yell a lot like me, come check my channel out. Punching Bag Skunk YouTube channel. I just try to tell the truth. Basically, I just yell a lot.
No, he's quiet. My teeth.
But
he's quiet. He don't.
Punching Bag Skunk YouTube channel. I go to punchingBagSkunk.com. We got some Dynamite stories over there and some Dynamite videos and stories that I wrote myself. You can go to. I guess that's it, guys. Just go check it out, man.
Awesome. To all the Talkin' Fight fans around the world who watched today, thank you for all the comments. Women's Boxing Channel, Ray, all the guys from overseas who watched, thank you for all your input. Tim, always a pleasure. Graham, a pleasure. Greg, you must come back, man. It was a great pleasure having you, man. We'll definitely have you back in the future. And to all the fight fans, man, we got to get to work so you guys don't have to. Make sure you join me Sunday for the Knockout of the Week Award. Don't want to miss that. We got big fights tomorrow. Don't forget, they're starting 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss that card, people. It's going to be a blast. Some big fights on that. And, man, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, new topics.
Peace.
Good night, guys.
Yes. Okay.
Bye, guys.
All right.